Hey everyone, welcome back. So the crypto market today, October 10th, is on an absolute knife's edge. Bitcoin just got rejected hard from that $125,000 level, and you can feel the tension in the air. But that's not even the main story. The real story, the one that has everyone talking, starts with this number.
$900 million. This is the figure that has the entire market on high alert right now. A massive $900 million short position has just been opened by a major whale. And let's be crystal clear about this. This isn't just some small hedge. This is a huge, huge gamble that the market is about to see a pretty serious short-term correction. It's a move that puts immediate, and I mean intense, pressure on this recent rally. So let's really dig into the bearish signals here. What exactly is this whale seeing that made them make such a massive move against the market?
Well, it all starts with the charts. Bitcoin's failure to hold that psychological 125K milestone, that was the first big red flag. Now it's trading just under 122K, and every single eye is on that $120,000 support level. If that line breaks, history tells us a 10 to 15% correction is very much on the table. And Ethereum's in a similar boat, with its key support at $4,200 being absolutely critical. Now, what's really fascinating is how this reflects that uncertainty. You can see it right here. The Fear and Greed Index has cooled off, dropping from 70 down to 64 in just a day. Yeah, we're still in greed territory, but it shows that the rejection at 125K and the news of that giant short, well, it's making traders tap the brakes a little. But this is where the story gets really, really compelling. Because while short-term traders and that one massive whale are betting on a drop, there's an incredibly powerful counterforce building, and I'm talking about the institutional wave. And this isn't just chatter. These are game-changing moves. Get this. Luxembourg just became the first Eurozone nation to put Bitcoin in its sovereign wealth fund. That's a historic stamp of approval. At the same time, spot Bitcoin ETFs are about to hit a staggering $100 billion in assets, and the UK just opened the floodgates for pension funds to get in. This isn't hype. It's a fundamental shift that's creating a wall of buying pressure that just wasn't there before. So here's the bottom line. The market is caught in this classic tug of war. On one side, you've got this immense short-term selling pressure, thanks to that whale and a lot of nervous traders taking profits. But on the other side, you have this growing, formidable wall of institutional money that sees any dip as a golden, long-term buying opportunity. So with this huge battle happening at the top, where do we see the action on the ground? Well, it's creating these incredibly volatile hotspots in the altcoin market. That's where this fight is most visible right now. Over in the US, the regulatory signals are just all over the place, and it's creating chaos. A leaked proposal is sending a chill through the entire DeFi space. But then, at the very same time, you have a new SEC chair pushing for clarity and a major bill that could make stablecoins a core part of the financial system. This back-and-forth uncertainty is a huge driver of where money is moving right now.
And all that regulatory fear, especially the worry that DeFi is about to get strangled by new surveillance rules, is pushing money into a very specific narrative. Investors are looking for a safe harbor, and they're finding it in assets that are all about privacy. And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? While the rest of the DeFi sector is basically flat, struggling under that regulatory pressure, privacy-focused tokens like Zcash are absolutely exploding, up over 25% in a single day. This is a classic narrative trade in action. When fear goes up, capital runs to what it sees as safety, and right now, safety looks a lot like privacy. Okay, so with this intense push and pull, how do you even navigate this market? Let's put together a clear playbook. A strategy based on what the data is telling us for the next critical 48 hours.
First things first, you have to understand the environment we're in. Analysts call this the acceleration phase. Think of it like the final, most chaotic sprint of a marathon. This means wild swings are the new normal. Prices can absolutely surge or plummet in just a matter of hours, which makes risk management your single most important tool right now. So, with that in mind, here are 3 key strategies to think about. Number 1. Reduce your leverage on those speculative altcoins. Number 2, protect your gains. Use trailing stop losses to lock in your profits automatically if the market turns against you. And number 3, be ready to use dollar cost averaging, buying in at regular intervals to scoop up Bitcoin and Ethereum if we do get that tip. Now, this stalemate we've been talking about, this tug of war between the bulls and the bears, it might not last much longer. In fact, there was a massive catalyst set to hit the market tomorrow, October 11th, and it could break this whole thing wide open.
Okay, so here are the 3 things on the watch list. First and foremost, the US CPI report. That's the inflation data. Second, the daily Bitcoin ETF net flow. We need to see if the big institutions are still buying this dip. And third, keep a close eye on the derivatives data, especially open interest. A big spike there could mean the market is over-leveraged and vulnerable to a crash. But make no mistake, that CPI report is the main event. It's the catalyst. If inflation comes in hotter than expected, it would just validate the bears and could trigger a sharp sell-off. But if that number comes in lower, it could be the exact fuel this market needs to shake off the bears and ignite a massive risk-on rally. So that leaves us with the ultimate question for the next 48 hours. Is that institutional wall of money strong enough to hold back the short-term pressure? And will tomorrow's inflation data be the spark that finally lets us smash through 125,000 for good? I'd love to know what you think. What's your game plan? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.